Welcome to Give Yourself Grace. I'm your host, Grace Perry, and I am so thrilled you're here. As a content creator and coach, I've built a 6-figure business to help women step into their power and share their stories with the world. My mission is to empower you to embrace your unique journey and every season this life has to offer. If you crave entertainment, guidance, and tools to transform your reality, you have come to the right place. So come with me on this adventure and truly give yourself the grace that you deserve. Let's dive into the show. All right, we are live. Woo! With Anna, my dream, literal person, human, all of the above. Check. Anna, I'm obsessed with you.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
And we are recording in Kiln Littleton Studios. We feel famous right now.
Loving it.
It's currently August 8th, and it's the Lionsgate portal. So we are actually going out to lunch after this, and then we're going to an amazing event, kind of celebrating this energy. And what better way to do it than to talk about human design and all of your incredible business journey. I am so excited to introduce you guys to Anna. She's amazing. And I want to start with her bio. I know that I do this with a lot of my guest interviews, but I just want to make sure I hit on everything because you are such a multi-passionate entrepreneur and just a spiritual guru and all the things. So I want to make sure that I'm nailing this. And so with that being said, I want to read her bio for you guys. So Anna is the founder of the Spiritual Business Incubator, where she helps mission-driven entrepreneurs use a blend of practical business strategies with an innovative perspective on human design to bring their visionary legacy to life. Woo! She's passionate about helping entrepreneurs feel confident in exactly who they are, clarity on what kind of business they are meant to build, and provide step-by-step direction on how they are meant to build it. Anna is the host of Design and Align Your Business podcast, where she shares practical ways to use human design and entrepreneurship, combining wisdom from her master's degree in business, 15 plus years of business development experience, and as a leader in the human design for business industry. Anna's mission is to help heart-led visionary entrepreneurs bring their big business visions to life. I love that so much. And it's the reason why I just naturally gravitated towards you. And our conversations around human design have literally changed my life. I just want you to know that. And I really want to expose our listeners to not only all that you do, but human design today. So kind of bring us back. We'll backtrack a little bit and tell us about your business journey.
Well, honestly, it started when I was born. I feel like my parents are both entrepreneurs. They came from Poland and came to America to follow the American dream. And so my parents owned businesses before I ever ended up working in the real business world, which we all have a journey through that. But starting my entrepreneur journey really was helping my parents with their businesses. And because they came from Poland and I was the oldest American-born child who could speak English, I also helped a lot of their friends with their businesses before I even understood what I was doing was coaching, consulting, supporting people in their business growth. I was just helping people build the lives that they wanted, the businesses that were going to support those lives. And it started there. In this journey, so I fast forward, I went to school, I got an MBA, I have an undergrad in finance and accounting. Your girl loves spreadsheets.
Yes, she does. That's badass.
And it's I've solved so many problems with spreadsheets, which is obviously, I feel like this is my love language, but it is such an important part of the business journey. And so when I was working in higher ed for 10 years, I was the president of the school board, so many entrepreneurs. I had that, I wanted to follow my heart's desire. By this point, my parents had sold their business. They, now I know, are projectors who built the wrong business model and had overworked themselves, burnt themselves out, but built a successful business. And now I was out there on my own, knowing that I was meant for something bigger, really always drawn to education, to making yourself better, right? That's where personal development has come in. And then when I knew I had to follow my heart's desire, I took the leap into entrepreneurship, into the wrong business model again.
Oh no.
But because I had business knowledge, skills, grit, ambition, I could make anything work, right? But my soul kept calling, you're moving in the wrong direction. This is not right. Y'all, there's so many ways that you were getting that message. And if you aren't, like, I'm so happy for you.
Yes.
But I remember that moment where I was building that business and I kept saying, I feel out of alignment. I feel out of alignment. And that was the first like online course program I bought, was someone's program that was called Epically Aligned. So it was shout out to Manifestation Babe. Like that.
I loved her stuff.
Yes,
Her
Catherine
memes are
Sinkina.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but in that, just for like I don't think 10 minutes of a 5-day thing, they mentioned human design.
Oh, wow. And that was like the seed that planted the garden. Oh my gosh.
And when I pulled my chart, I was like, oh my God, this thing knows me better than I know myself. And also, honestly, I checked it. I was like, is this wrong? Because the things, like, I love like preach human design. I've even coached people in this, like taught them. And I was so deeply out of alignment. And there were pieces of my chart that I was like, yeah, I've like had glimmers of this, or I've had moments of this, or I've been bullied for this, or I got in trouble for this. And I was like, this is supposed to be my gifts. And so that was 3.5 years ago now. And it started this journey of me learning about how human design worked for me, for my family, my marriage, and ultimately searching how it worked for business. And everything that I was learning out there was not what I was like, give me the business book like I would get in business school on how to do this with human design. Like I thought that existed. It didn't. So I continued down the journey and deepened in my thought leadership in human design and business.
Amazing. And now she is a thought leader expert, all of the above. Check, check, check. That spreadsheet is full. Of just amazing like opportunities. And I think what's so unique about your thought leadership is you are changing lives through a tool, but you're also advancing the tool in this way. So you're contributing to it, which is so cool. So what the hell is human design?
Okay, friends. The actual true definition is called the science of differentiation.
Okay.
Isn't that fun?
That is cool.
But it is the combination of astrology, the Kabbalah, I Ching, the chakra system, and quantum physics, y'all. Like,
oh my God.
This is not fluffy like things. And I think for those of us who are on the journey of like spirituality or understanding, exploring human design, astrology, all of these things, like what is so cool about this tool, it's like I've taken the Myers-Briggs and the strengths and all of the personality tests where you answer all of these questions about yourself, and that changes. What I was before I was a mom is different than when I became a mom. Who I was in the corporate world looks different than how I answer those questions in the entrepreneur world.
Right.
But human design is based on the date, time, and location of your birth. And it truly, like I'm saying, knows you better than you know yourself. It tells you like how your energy and your aura impact other people, how you're meant to communicate, what you like truly are meant to do in this lifetime, your life purpose. Like, y'all, if you're still looking for that, please pull your human design chart.
Like, let's repeat that, please, for the love of God. Pull your human design chart.
It's so valuable. Like decision making, which is a fundamental, critical component of entrepreneurship, and not doing it from the mind. But there's so many different ways that we're meant to do it based on our unique human design. So there's so much more. Like my favorite, the two favorite things. One of which is called your highest gift, or it's your personality sun. If you're like out there looking in your human design chart, it's a fundamental component of your life purpose, which is called your incarnation cross. And it makes up 70% of the energy that you are. So like if you're out there like hanging with people, like this is the flavor that they're feeling off of you.
Wow.
And when you build your business, when you are showing up in your relationships and your parenting and all of the things, like you can't help but be this.
Wow.
The analogy that I was given about this once, like, so right, you think about like the sun comes out every morning because this is your personality sun in human design, think your sun sign in astrology. The sun doesn't care if it burns you, if it blinds you, like it's there to do its job, right? Warm the earth, do all the things. Right. And the analogy for our highest gift, we're here to do that. And sometimes maybe we dim that or aren't aware of it. And other times we become aware of it, but we're like, now what do I do with it?
Yeah.
So that's one of my very favorite parts of human design. And the other one is your human design environment, which maybe we'll get into a little later because it was the catalyst, understanding this, that changed the direction of my business.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, there's so many all-encompassing parts. I think I was exposed to human design last year. That was probably it's been about a year, but still, like, I am still trying to understand all of the pieces because it is really complex. What I love about it is the ability to cross-examine other people. And so this is where it gets interesting because not only through business, like from a human design perspective, like talk to me about how that looks like in a business setting too.
Oh my gosh. Well, when you talked about how like you can analyze other people and understand things, right? So the human design chart has things that are colored in on it and things that are not colored in. At their simplest, they are gifts you have to give if they're colored in. And they're gifts you're here to receive if they're not colored in.
Wow.
And that's I want to say maybe oversimplified because there's a lot of nuance to that. But the point is that we all have these unique gifts. Like my family, my kids are 5 and 7. My husband is like got every video game system since 1985. Like we play a lot of Mario.
My boy, shout out to Colby as well. He is such a gamer. He's like, our children are gonna play games. I'm like, we'll see about that.
We do play a lot of Mario together. It's super fun.
I love that. I was a Crash Bandicoot girl back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So when we play Mario, and you think about this, like you are picking a character because of its skills.
Yes.
Right? Like you pick Yoshi because Yoshi doesn't get small. Or you pick like Mario for different reasons and like Peach for different reasons. And it's because they have different gifts to do the job that they're supposed to do.
Yes.
And this is what human design from just like interacting with people, but also it is a like job description for your soul to fulfill your mission.
Oh my God. Can we just repeat that as well? This is your job description to fulfill your soul's mission. Wow. I've always felt that. It is a blueprint.
Yeah.
It is like, it has never made me believe more that we are literally in the Matrix.
Well, we've gotten out of the Matrix. Come join us, friends.
Welcome to your own portal of transformation by listening to this podcast. But it's true.
Yeah.
Wow. And so how do you use that specifically?
So it's really fun to first think about this, right? It's about you first. So understanding who you are, the way that I talk about it in my world, it's like, this is your magnetic role in business, right? Like some of us are meant to be teachers. Some of us are meant to be, experimenters. Some of us are meant to have these different roles. And then how do you consciously become aware of that and build your business first around you? The second part that I always talk about is building the right business model, not only for you and your energy type. So, we haven't deep into that, but there are 5 main energy types. And the way that we are able to work, the way we interact with one another, the way that we spark change in the world is different based on what that is. And
so what are those 2?
Sure. Those are manifestors, generators, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors.
And reflectors are the rarest.
Yes. So manifestors, 9% of the population. These are the people, I have this analogy where if we have a group of friends who are trying to get to the top of a mountain, right? This applies whether it's in business, your life, your relationships, whatever. The manifestors are our friends who are going to point to this spot, based on everyone's preferences. They're just this is the spot that is going to give us the best view for our picnic at the top of the mountain. And then our projector friends, who are 22% of the population, will come in and say, here's the path based on our skill level, how hard we want to work today. Do we want to stay in the shade? Do we want to stay in the sun? They're going to help guide us on our path. And then the generators, which is both you and I, come in and we are the heartbeat. We are the cheerleaders. We are the fuel, the fire, the energy behind getting things moving. It's in this very steady, we're moving along. Let's go, friends. And we fuel people with energy. But then on our journey, which generators are 35% of the population. This changes with manifesting generators. But on that journey, suddenly, let's say there's a log in the road. And when we get to that log, everyone's like, oh my God, what do I do? Well, our manifesting generator friends come in. That's another 30-ish% of the population that are like, oh, no big deal. I know exactly how to pivot around this. They're going to be like, do we cut the log down? Do we move it? Do we blow it up? Whatever. Like Yoshi's there. He's going to take care of it for us. So they know how to not only like figure out the pivot, but also fuel the pivot.
Okay.
Right? So it's like giving you this burst of energy that you didn't have before to do something that's a little bit maybe more complicated than this like steady energy that the generators give.
Okay.
And then when we get to the top of the mountain, our reflector friends, which are only 1% of the population, which is cool.
Which is crazy, 1%. Some of you listening might be a reflector, so you have to check.
Yes. So great. When we get to the top, they look back on the journey, like, and reflect back to us. Like, first of all, how could we have done that better? But also, like, giving us these opportunities to really go inward and, like, see, they're called the mirrors, right? So see, how did we feel, perform, go, like, participate in this experience?
Wow.
And it's such a cool way to look at that from a, like, going on a hike with friends perspective. And then you take that into business and realize that, most of us have worked in some sort of job at some point. But even if you've been in entrepreneurship your whole life, you understand there are many components of a business, from marketing to sales to delivery to all of it, to visioning. And also, like, you can do all of those, and maybe you can't do all of those. Maybe you want to, maybe you like to, maybe you don't like to. And there's more reason to it than like, I'm bad at this, or I don't have the energy for this. Like, you will, no matter what your energy type is, will have the energy to do what's right for you.
I love that. So it's almost like you're delegating responsibilities based on what, number one, lights that person up, but also what their human design, their blueprint tells them. Oh, that's amazing. And like, we can do this as we're building our team, as we're scaling, but also like recognizing within ourselves, like what our strengths are versus our weaknesses. And so even if you're just starting a business for yourself, you can use it as a tool to help you better understand like how you like to do business and life, honestly. Oh, that's so good. And I love the hiking metaphor too. And as I was listening to you, I was thinking of like, even with astrology, and if you dabble in astrology too, I do that all the time where I'm like, I'll meet someone new and then I'll judge them because I'll be like, oh, I'm an Aquarius, and Colby's an Aquarius, my boyfriend. So I'll like, oh, I'll like think of them and think of his traits and kind of like cross-examine in a way.
Yeah.
Same thing with like people I know really well. It's like, that's how I think of astrology. It's like, if you were to tell me you're a Sagittarius, I'd be like, oh, my mom's a Sagittarius. So it's like, I think of that person and kind of cross-reference what qualities and like.
I'm a Cancer, FYI. My birthday was a couple weeks ago.
Oh my God. Happy belated birthday. But yes, I love it so much. I am a Leo as well. So this whole portal is very exciting. I love the month of August, of course. But yes, just in general, like, it's so fascinating. So I love, love, love that analogy. What would you say has been like the most, and I guess we'll kind of shift gears here, but like the most challenging part of knowing all of this information? Because you've essentially educated yourself on all these amazing types. And like, how has it transformed your life knowing what you know about human design?
So this is really fascinating because, a lot of people want to learn about themselves from a human design perspective. And once I started learning about this, I was like, I just was very called to learn about all the things. So for all the teachers, like, I've got so many books, so many like lessons that I've watched on this. And the challenging part, interestingly, right, is that when I was trying to take all of that information and synthesize it for people and use it and help them apply it, honestly, the challenge, two things. First was, who the F am I to be the person to do this? It was the story inside of my brain that said that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't ready enough, I wasn't smart enough, despite my MBA, despite like having grown businesses, all of the things. And this thing of human design, like being raised in, a Catholic family in a conservative community, it was really like I was standing out in a different way, which also I'm an Aquarius moon. So like, I know I'm meant to do things differently on so many different levels, but like owning that, like I actually remember the moment when I was like, damn, I'm the one that's supposed to bring this to the world. Because you can search business planning and on Amazon, find like thousands of books.
Yes.
There are like 4 on human design and business that are Good, fine.
Yep.
And
there is a need.
and because they were organized based on really more of the person's experience and their like area of expertise.
Okay.
Whereas I understood that the whole concept of business planning wasn't like, you can't just pick this marketing book up, because if you don't actually know the mission of your business, you might be marketing the wrong thing.
Yes.
If you haven't picked the right business model for you, you might be trying to put something out there that you hate, and that's why your marketing isn't working or your sales isn't working, because you don't actually like what you're selling.
Oof. Yes.
So this was something that I did way before I knew human design. In my local community, I was doing business planning, leadership, strategic planning work with organizations, small to large, and there was a lot of guessing. And so when you talk about like challenges, like not only taking myself as the like, who am I to bring this out there, but then actually figuring out like, wow, I have to create a new way to synthesize this massive amount of information into something useful and practical, because it didn't do it. And there is a school out there that does teach like human design and business, but it is still very like theoretical. And I'm a 5-line, you're a 5-line. We're here to do like bring practical solutions, innovative practical solutions to the world. And I was like, what about the person who's actually like not just wanting to learn all this stuff, but wants to just build the business, serve the people that they're meant to serve, fulfill their mission. Like that's on their heart, not learning a bunch of things, but the doing of it and not guessing, because that's the difference between what I've done with business planning and strategic planning before human design, which is like, okay, who do you want to serve? And they're like, I don't know. What do you want to sell? I don't know. So, right? Like, so there's a lot of work versus with human design, like we can answer those questions.
Almost immediately.
Yes, like immediately.
Wow.
And I've done the studying, so I've been able to do that myself. And now I'm in the process not only of like creating, like programs and a human design for business library and all of these things on how to like get that out there and taking people through the business planning process. But I have a book coming out.
So excited.
With Human Design Press in October. October 6th is our release date.
It's coming up so soon.
I know.
We're going to put all of this in the show notes so you guys can pre-sale all the things for Anna. Seriously, that's amazing.
And even the publisher was like, my pitch to them was like, I don't want to write a regular human design book. I want to write a business book that's based in human design. And they were like, tell me more.
What do you mean? Yes.
Because we need that. Like entrepreneurs are out there and they're doing this work, potentially like hustling, burning themselves out, or like blaming themselves for maybe not being where they want to be yet, or forcing something that doesn't feel right. And I was like, how do I get this information out faster and larger? Because I wholeheartedly believe, back to the mission that we were talking about, we all need to fulfill our mission. Like that's why our souls came here. Like this is all part of, right? Like, and if we're not on that path, then we're not feeling great.
Yep.
Right? Something feels like it's missing or off or wrong. But not only when we get on to that path in our lives, because this path in human design, your life purpose, it applies to your marriage, your partnerships, your friendships, your parenting, like any interaction that you have with other human beings. But in business, it's like, how do we help these people who have these mission-driven businesses actually fulfill those missions? Because I know they are heart-centered. I know they're here to make the world a better place. And most often, it's those people that didn't go to business school, don't like spreadsheets. Girls, I'm probably saying this. I'm making this fun
really
for you.
You're calling me out right now.
And like, right, like if you have a vision of a legacy business, a big thing that's not you doing all the work, at some point you're going to have to look at financial statements and competently know how to do that. And that maybe isn't written in your human design, but your ability to make decisions and trust your gut, right?
Yes.
Is. And so that's why I've bridged together the teaching, the business planning pieces of it with the human design. Because like when you're like, well, what do I want my revenue goal to be? Well, those questions I'd be asking different depending on if you're a projector, a manifestor, reflector versus a generator or manifesting generator. Even to help you make a decision on what do you want your goals to be this year?
Wow. Oh my God, it's amazing. And I love how your story has literally brought you to exactly where you are today. Like even from your parents and like watching them struggle in business and like trying to figure it out along the way, but then being super successful and like learning from that. And then all of your teachings and your incredible education that you've now translated into this new wave of thinking and doing business. Freaking amazing. Literally.
Thank you.
Chills.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what is this program called also? And how can people get into this? Because it's more than just a book.
It is more than a book. So my business is called the Spiritual Business Incubator.
Okay.
And within that, I have a step-by-step business planning program. So someone who wants to go through and literally I'm not just like teaching you and talking at you, like there's coursework beforehand, workbooks, like templates for all of these things. And then in the time we spend together, we're actually writing that part of the business plan together.
Okay.
And this is also because I understand my human design and what my mission and role is. And so like facilitating the doing for people and making it fun and not just like, oh my God, I have to do this thing. Like I promise you all of the people inside the incubator love spreadsheets now because now they make more money.
Yes. Yep.
So the business planning process is a linear step-by-step process, but then I have this rolling incubator component where it's strategic planning. So not just like, here's the business plan is what you're building. And the strategic plan is how and when are we doing the things in what order, right? How are we using our time, our energy, our money, resources to build that thing?
Yes.
And it's the facilitation of the planning of it through strategic planning, but also then the actual doing of it. So that's something that I get a lot of feedback on, right? I called it the Spiritual Business Incubator for a reason.
Yes.
Because there are 763 business incubators in the United States, friends.
Oh, wow.
And they will help you write a business plan. They will ask you questions like, who do you want to serve? And what do you want to sell? And you got to figure it all out. And you can put down anything you want on that paper, but you don't know if it's right for you. Whereas being on this spiritual journey, like having that deep soul calling, like knowing what it feels like to have found it, right? And so many people still being on that journey of searching or even knowing, but like not even knowing how to put it all into place. Like I created the Spiritual Business Incubator because I knew that bridging not only human design, but we also like for strategic planning use astrological transits.
Ooh.
Like,
oh my God, that
we
sounds
could do
amazing.
a legit, serious, another episode on this because I have planned out my whole year, like certain things, certain activities, even to the date of my book launch. Like,
based on like the astrological.
Based on astrological transits. So like, just like quick backstory on that. I was planning this out with my astrologer and she was like, it would be good if you release a book in the fall. She said October 6th, which was not the original release date. It was a couple of weeks earlier, 3 weeks earlier. And then something happened where I ended up there was a delay in the editing process.
Right.
And they're like, we have to reschedule your book launch to October 6th.
Oh my God.
I was like, you could not make this up. You could not make
So what would you say to the skeptic? Like for some reason I'm feeling called to say that. Like what would you because this is so new age. It's incredible. Like like the more I do research on it, and like I understand myself and these like not only the astrology piece, but the freaking human design piece.
Yeah, we've been gene keys and numerology.
Yes,
like,
now we have gene keys. We got like lots.
We do a lot. We do a lot of things.
But it's important, especially like if you're dabbling in entrepreneurship, if you're like learning the tricks of the trade, like you start to like expand yourself and look for tools to explain how to do so and like to make sense of this. Because a lot of it, I loved the delusional state of mind, the delulu, right?
Yeah.
Like operating in that delusional state. But also like what I've realized is I feel like in the last year I've been so delusional that I'm like, okay, we need some strategy. We need to get back to like, focused.
We do live in the 3D reality.
Yes. So there is this like happy balance of, really hyper-focusing business, masculine strategy. But then there's like this, I like to call it the feminine play of like, what's my personality type and what is like the blueprint of these tools. And so like, what would you say to the skeptic who's listening and be like, what the hell is she talking about?
Okay, so my like little sassy comment is like, if you don't yet have everything you want in your life, then it's worth a try.
Amazing. Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Like, I remember there was a moment where I still am very like traditionally trained, and I've worked in very like highly regulated, structured like organizations, and also in very like, let's just do whatever we want because my parents were Polish and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, right? There was a lot of like throwing the spaghetti at the wall and then a lot of structure. And what I've learned, and especially for the skeptic that's out there trying to figure out their path, is that like it is statistically proven that business planning, first of all, will help you be more successful in business by like some obscene amounts, like Small Business Administration, Harvard Business School, like all the, this is not uncommon.
No.
And weaving in human design, like what I always tell people is, if what we tell you, what you learn about yourself feels wrong, don't do it.
Yeah.
But what if there's something out there that could answer questions for you and help you move with more ease and more flow than the guessing? And I always say business is not a guessing game. This is our like 3D reality thing.
Yes.
Right? But I do believe that it is an alignment game. From a strategic perspective of like, are you talking to a client who wants what you actually have to offer and delivering it in the way that they want it?
Yes.
To, are you building the right model for your unique energy, the mission that you have on your heart from a soul perspective and even from a business perspective? Like all of these things need to be in alignment, because this other analogy that I love to share with this is, you know, we talk a lot about flow and like, let's in the ease and the flow. And we're like, what does that actually mean?
Yep.
Right. So we're Colorado girls.
Yep.
Well, I'm from Illinois originally. You're from
Boston.
Yeah, right. So like now we're Colorado girls. And
I'm really embracing my granola girl too this year.
So
I love it.
You know, when you go into the river and you feel the water pushing you, right? Like if you're trying to walk against the current, you feel the pressure of the water trying to push you, because that's the flow of energy.
Yes.
And your unique human design, layer in all of the other things, numerology, astrology, like all of it, is telling you what the water looks like. Yeah, it's telling you what the direction of the water is. And so you can choose to keep walking against it because you don't believe you're standing in water. Or you can get in, like what you used to do is like get into these like duckies, right? Or like little like floaties, and like you float down the river, like sip your mocktail or cocktail, like enjoy like the smooth ride until you get to the end. Because you're going to get to the end a lot faster versus crossing, realizing you didn't get to where you wanted to go in resistance, and then have to cross again and cross again. So that's what I would share for the skeptic. Like, spend a half an hour peeking around, chat GPTing it, and see what happens.
100%. And there's so many great like resources and apps. I'll link a few of my favorites in the show notes as well, and all of your amazing information too, because there's so much. It can feel overwhelming, but at the end of the day, like if you're an entrepreneur listening, no matter what level of business, there's so much here for you, and so much to learn. Like, and not only in business, but in love. Yeah. Like, I think Colby, I'm pretty sure he's a projector. And so like when I read his chart and compared the two, like I'm more root intuition centered and he's more factual. Is that right? Or it's like more, it's one of the two, but it's like we have a different way of making decisions.
Yeah. So he's probably mental projector, or maybe my daughter's a self-projected projector. Okay. So I think what you're getting at, if I can pull this out of it, right, is like, really understanding first how different we are, generator versus a projector at an energetic level. You're like, we are the Energizer Bunny, and they're like, I should take a nap.
Yes, or he's like, let me go play some video games.
But it's, right? But it's because like in 4 hours, they could accomplish what we accomplish maybe in 8 hours, but it's not about like doing more work, right? They're like, I want to finish all the things I want to do in 4 hours and then nap. And you're like, I'm going to finish all the things for this in 4 hours, and then I'm going to go do all these other fun things for the next 4 hours. Yes. Or whatever that looks like, right? It's not just about like working. It's about living.
Yes, it's a different way of doing life. Yeah, and that's like the best thing too. Like if you're like maybe struggling in a relationship, or you're like questioning why things are getting so like combative, or you're just like struggling in general, it's really cool to compare to their human design, because you can literally see the gaps. And for me, like, it wasn't that we weren't struggling. We don't really have that. It was more just like recognizing, like, in knowing him deeper.
Well, I mean, I'll be really transparent. My husband and I, of 22 years, married for 15, we have a 5 and 7-year-old. And we were like oil and water at the beginning, which was like deep, deep love. And like, I mean, the Akashic Records have confirmed we've lived many lifetimes together.
Yes.
But it was like, and we were young, right? 18 and 20 when we first, well,
Wow.
16 and 18 actually, when we first got together. And he's a manifester and I'm a generator.
Okay.
And so like, he's here to tell people, inform people, right? Manifestors inform people of what they want. And that's the end of the conversation. And like, they can have conversations and all of these things, but it's like, I've told you what we're doing. Whereas I'm a generator, like, let's talk, let's respond, let's do all the things. And he's like, didn't we already make these decisions?
Oh.
And so like, as we've continued in our own evolution as humans, as parents, as all of the things, like knowing this, because he at one point was working a job, like a regular, like go in at 7, come home at 3 every single day, doing the same things. And he was like dying. And so he was so angry and coming home so tired, like could not do.
Is out of alignment.
Yeah, completely out of alignment. Whereas like even though once upon a time had a job that like hourly schedule was fine, the work that I was doing was not out of alignment. So as a generator, I was like, I have no passion for this. My sacral is not on. It doesn't matter how much energy I have. I'm not going to do what I don't like to do.
Right.
So learning that about ourselves, though, what was really cool about it is at some point there was this like catalyst conversation that was like, it's time for you to leave. We are going into business together because we're also real estate investors and we had done some flips.
Yeah.
And those were always the best projects. Like we always worked really well in that setting.
That's so cool that you have created that together too.
Yeah. But the business model that we built together, different than the business model that I'm building by myself.
Yes.
Because my role is different in this, right? A partnership versus me being the founder and the head of the spiritual business incubator.
Yes.
But what, even for him, part of this, like what they call in human design is the deconditioning process. So it's like when you start to actually allow yourself to not only intellectually learn what it's all about, but apply it and like be like, okay, maybe. So I was like, why don't you just drink your coffee and play some video games for a couple of hours and start working whenever you're ready? And he was like, and because this was 22 years, like that is not what we were okay with 20 years ago.
Right.
But now I'm like, I know you and like, I trust you, all the things, but like, I also know that you will accomplish so much more in a short period of time than if you try to do the same amount of work over a longer period of time. You will actually it's very different. Whereas for me, I'm like, I want to take my time a little bit. I want to like enjoy the process and all of these things. And so that really from like a relationship perspective helped us change how we were interacting. And then even being conscious in the business that we're building of like, what are our roles, not just as business partners, but in achieving what we're trying to achieve in that business together.
That's beautiful. God, and like, how amazing is it that we get that opportunity? Like,
so good.
It's like, it's so simple to like, think about the time that we have, but like when you're in the thick of like becoming an entrepreneur, doing entrepreneurship, like the day-to-day stuff, it's like taking the time to just recognize like, oh, we can do whatever the fuck we want. We can align the life of our dreams, we can make those choices. We can decide to work later or we make our own schedules.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but then you apply it to all of the blueprint of what you now know and what you teach. Oh my God, it's a game changer. It's a life changer, relationship changer.
Everything, yeah. Even parenting. I parent my kids differently. My daughter's a projector, my son's a generator. And so like, we used to be like, everyone's got to play together. And now like knowing that my husband, Doug, and Ella need some more rest time. I'm like, Dylan, let's go play in the backyard. Let's go run some laps. And like, we like it.
Yes.
Right? And then they're like, oh, thank God we get to chill. And then we all come back together happily to do family things. And that was something that even just in the dynamic of how we were taught that we should be spending time as a family, like, right? The activities that I do with her are different than the activities I do with him. And
that's beautiful.
It's changed very, very fundamentally how we show up and behave in our family.
That's amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that because that is huge. So as a mama, as a business owner, like you're building, you're writing books, you're an author, speaker, all of the things. Like how are you giving yourself grace at this time in life?
So I also just moved to Littleton about 2 months ago.
So she's a lot closer, which is awesome.
Yeah, so like essentially the place that we were born and raised. My husband was there. I moved there when I was 8. So it was a huge transition, not just like moving 200 miles, but like from a family perspective, like there's a lot of deep roots for us.
That was in Grand Junction? Okay.
Deep roots. Of our families, our friends, like all of these things, and a life that we had once imagined that we wanted. And then there was this like knowing that we were meant to move somewhere else to like the work that I'm doing, the like vision that we had even for our real estate empire, like all of the different things that we're doing. Like I knew it was time to move. Well, there was some astrological magic in that as well. Like, girl, we'll have to have another conversation about that. But when we moved, I first thought I was going to just like hit the ground running working. And I think I spent like the first week just like landing in my body, let alone like, I think it was like the 5th day that our bed was like put together. Like we got the kids done, but we would like kind of just like do as much as we had to.
Yes, it's a lot.
And then I was like, okay, so you want to just like lay here?
Can we just rest for a minute? Yes.
Because it was just like this huge energetic exertion, not just moving, but like identity shifting and location, like
overload,
all of the things. So I gave myself grace in this way of like, I'm going to not start really, really working until after my birthday, which was about 6 weeks later. It took me a couple of weeks to like get there.
Yes.
To be okay with that. And I still went out and like networked and connected because I thrive and love being in people. Like that feels good.
Me too. Yeah.
But I knew that I wasn't going to like do what I had like was envisioning and planning until after my birthday season, because I wanted to land in the month of June, and then like 4th of July, my birthday's right after that. Our anniversary is a couple days before our birthday. So I'm like, we're just like, my cousin came out.
When's your anniversary?
July 10th.
Oh, ours is July 20th. Love. But yeah, that grace period, like allowing yourself the time to like readjust and like literally just deepen your relationships and like the community in the house that you're now in.
Well, and what I want to share, because like I fundamentally believe that this, like I was able to do that because I had like a light summer schedule plan kind of what I thought I was going to be doing. But I knew enough that like strategically I wasn't going to be doing much until the kids got back into school. And literally, girl, astrologically, it even was confirmed. So like
we all need to, we got to talk about that too. The astrology piece is crazy, but wow.
So I like my normal self, the old habits and patterns would have been like, well, I got to be working. But I had a financial plan of how we were going to be making it through. Like, right, the business is working and operating and making money. And I also like get to like go to the pool with my kids and like have this time. And if I didn't have that plan, I've had seasons where I didn't have to work or I felt sick and I needed to take time off, but there was so much anxiety behind it. And now I was like, okay, like I've got the machine is working.
Yes.
To get us to here when I feel like I'm going to be ready to like come back into the world. And that has started happening. Now we're in August and I like can energetically feel there, right? Versus before I was like, where are the forks? Why can't I find, like pots and pans?
Yes,
like,
oh my
like it was just
gosh.
like the grace part of like allowing it to happen. But there have been seasons where I didn't or wouldn't have because the anxiety of what like I should be doing was there versus knowing, like having built in a little bit of a buffer and then having a machine supporting me from a business perspective that allowed me to take more time than I thought I needed.
That's beautiful. And how amazing is it that you applied everything that you've learned to create that machine so that it's you are allowed that flexibility and just that recognition of taking that time for you too. It's huge. It's the dream. It's the dream. And I love it so much. Okay, so how can we support you right now in this season? Where can people find you? We're going to put this all in the show notes, but I would love for you just to hear from you too.
Well, I absolutely cannot wait for the book to come out.
Yes.
October 6th is the release date. So like mark your calendars, plan to buy it on Amazon, click, share, post, tag me on Instagram at I am Anna Nichols. I'm also on LinkedIn at Anna Nichols, it's my name.
Yes.
But I think that the support really comes from like, this isn't about the book being my book. Like there's so much more to this about like, the visions that are out there that I'm like, oh my gosh, like the gift that you're about to get when you get this book.
I'm literally so excited to buy them for every single person I know.
It's so good because it's not just like learn about your human design. Like we talk about finances, team building, mission, like all of it.
Amazing.
And I feel like I've written this book that I was meant to like channel and bring through as a gift to the universe.
Wow.
And like to the collective, to the people who are doing the good work, who are trying to not only change their lives, their families' lives, but the lives of other people. And the ripple effect of that is just like, that is what really lights me up. So pay attention for that.
I will.
Connect with me on the socials and thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you so much for coming. Seriously, you're such a bright light, and just your magic, your wisdom is, I know, changing lives already and has changed mine. So thank you so much. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yay. Woohoo. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Your support means everything to me. If you found this episode inspiring, please share it on your social media and tag me. I'd love to thank you personally. And as always, sending you love and rooting for you. See you in the next episode.